In the previous video, I showed you quickly a node called group, right? So in this class, I want to talk more about group. So if you right click, you can see here, there is a tab itself called group. So you have a bunch of groups, lots of range combined and a lot more. So I'm going to talk most of the nodes in here, right? Not all of them, but a quick intro of group, why we use group and what is the use of group. So that's what I want to show you. So I'll quickly bring a box, right? And to show you what I'm after, I need more resolution or more division. So I changed this to mesh because I don't want to do this one. It will give you a wireframe. So I don't want that. I want mesh, and so that I can control. And I use the usual previous videos method, which is copying and pasting the absolute reference so that I can change whatever and it all reflects to all of them, right? Simple. So what is group? So before that, I want to show you, so in the introduction to SOP, I hope you are familiar with the manual selection tool and all of this, right? All this has a limitation, like what, isn't it? So I'll manually select some of it because I want to show you why we use group, what is the use of group. Okay, you can select. So right now I'm just selecting some of the polygon from here. So you can either select from here. So that has a limitation again. So if you select like this, then you can see it is selecting all of behind. So if you don't want to select all of that, so you can deselect by, if you want to keep these faces, then you go to these faces, and if you press Control, then you can see in the nearby the mouse, you can see a minus, right? If you press Shift, then you can see plus, isn't it? So it is plus for adding and minus for deselecting or subtracting. So you deselect this way, and you can deselect all of the one. But that's like it is there in all the 3D program, that if you try to select one, then it will also select the other one. But in Houdini we hardly use this manual method. So if you press Control, you can deselect it. If some cases you select this one and you want to delete this one way is, of course, position your camera in the perspective view and deselecting it. But there is a chance of, if you delete this, there are chances of getting deselect of this one. So in that case, what you can do is that you go to the if this is front angle, right? So you take the side angle of whatever it fits. So this is a side angle. So now if you deselect it, and if you go to perspective, see, it is not distracting your workflow, because you get a perfect camera view or perfect look, and then you deselect it. And so I am deselecting some of this. Okay, so I'm just keeping this one, right? And if you press Shift and hold down A, then you can have a like a straight look. See, easily you can get Shift and A. All right, so I'm not keeping, just for now I want only this part, and then I will PolyExtrude it. So in the viewport, if you guys know that I explained it, the viewport, if you press PolyExtrude, then you can have either you can control from here, or you can take this elastic kind of thing to extrude. So you have it, right? But later you have it, your client or someone said you need to have more resolution or something. Like if you wanted to divide more, or if you're changing the shape of the box, okay, then it's going to be a mess, because the group we made is by manual, which is by selecting the primitive number. So as we increase the box primitive, so like we say like 15, the number of primitive also changes, right? And all the selected number will also change, right? So if I click enter, you can see that boom, you see everything changed. So this is a problem, isn't it? This is a big problem when we are trying to if you're trying to build a robot and then suddenly you decided to make a change, then it's not in your hand, like you need to start from scratch again. All right, so that's when the group plays a great role, right? So I'll delete or I cancel all this group, right? And of course make it 0 so that it stays in the normal position. So this is where the group plays a great role. Okay, I'll show you how. Right, so you see PolyExtrude, and up here you can see a group. In all this previous video, what we did is we brought a group from a PolyExtrude group, right? Something like this. We bought it from this group, which is already exist. Okay, this group is already exist, and we are just bringing that group, right, and changing the name of the group, isn't it? But you can not only do that, you can not only bring the previous group node, but also you can create your own group. You come up here, group, and you can see there's a lot of names, but in there we need to create our own group, right? So it is there, that group create. So you click on group create, and I want to show you something else as well. If you click on the group, just the group name, just the group, it also give you the same. Okay, I don't know why they don't deprive yet. They should have deprive one of the node, because it's the same. It is exactly the same. So I'll plug it in here. So you can see it is saying not enough sources specified, and it requires a source, and we connect the source. So now we have connected the source, and if you come up here, you can see there is like written bounding object, but there is no error, so which means that you can carry on even without connecting anything in here. Okay, so I'll show you what is this, but for now this is good. So here you can create. So you can see this is a group create node, and your first question is like, what is your group name? You can give it a group name like personal. I don't know, I'm just giving you, because I'm having a personal selection, so I'm giving a personal, right? Nothing fancy at all. Which type is it? The group, primitive or point or edge or vertices. For now I'm selecting the primitive because it's easy to see and select. When this point, then I have to click here, which I'm lazy, so I'll take the primitive to show you what it is. And if you click here, you make it as a blue, and then you click on the node, you get this. If you did not get that, you're probably in the selection mode or something. All right, you're probably in the selection mode, so which is this one. Then you won't be able to see that thing because you're in the selection mode. You're in the selection of polygon or edge or points. All right, so if you come up here, you click here to the show handle, then it shows you the guide, or the guide. So I call this as a guide. So it's like it tells you what is your group right now. So right now the group is you forget about initial merge. There is nothing to merge right now, so you forget about this one for now, like cancel, boom, 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 boom. Okay, and right now it is selected everything because in the base group, this one base group is enabled. So likewise you have a bounding region, normal, edges. So likewise you can enable any of these of whatever your choice. So we ignore all this and concentrate on here, the first one. So if I enable it, you middle mouse click it to get the node information, and you see there is primitive, group, personal, and it has no selection, 0 selection. But if you click here, then middle mouse it, you have 486 primitives in your personal group. Now what? So base group has two ability. Okay, so one is you can manually select it, which by you click here like just like previous. You guys know that this tool is called select geometry from available viewport, and this tool is like previous group. If you have any, click on the selection tool, and then select whatever the polygon I want to make this as a group. All these will be, if I press enter, will be personal. It'll be under the name group called personal. And you guys know I've selected 1, 2, 3, 4. You click here, you can get this. If not, again, see, it's in selection mode. If I click here, then I can see what is this group is. See, this group has this many. So 2, 4, 6, 7, right? So if you middle mouse click it, then 7 personal primitive are being stored, okay, in the primitive group called personal, right? So now you can get that group to extrude it. See, come on, sorry about that, I did not read from there. Yes, isn't it? But like I said, here what we did is we selected from the primitive group, right? I mean from the primitive number, right? We selected the number. So which means if I make a change 15, it changes. Or if I put 40, it changes. Yeah, you see, this is what happens. So which means again all your work is spoiled, isn't it? So how can you fix that? Like I wanted to select only this part to be, everything. So right now we have a personal and we made it a primitive manual selection of a primitive number. So then if I come up here, group, okay, group, again I'm building multiple group. So in this new or something, I don't know. So then you have the previous personal group that you can select from. So this is what it gave you, right? Here you can see here. So I got that same thing. You have the base group, this one, and then you can come up here and toggle any of that, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Toggle any of that, and you can select from there. Okay, so before getting to that, I will get back to like how we can create a non-destructible workflow, right? So let's get back to 10. Okay, just for making things smoother. So base group is nothing right now, and then I'm base group is disabling it, right? So personal group has nothing. If you middle mouse, nothing. Okay, and the next one I want to show you is keep in bounding region. So just like the name, keep in bounding region. So it will give you a bounding region. So if you come right now, you won't be seeing anything because that's exactly the way it is. Like if you take a sphere, make it primish, and now you can see. So this is the bounding box. So before, when it was so it is just like the same. It is the size of, as a default, it is the size of a box. That's why you saw something similar, like this. Okay, so in the bounding box you have plenty of other options. So if you want bounding box or bounding sphere, and this too, weight. Okay, so bounding box. So this way you can control. Okay, I said, okay, I want in the previous method, what I did, I'm just doing here as well. Okay, so in the first method I showed you, I'm just selecting what I want. Okay, see, so this was the first in the beginning, this is what I selected, right? And then I increased the subdivision. So you can see here, so I'm selecting from the bounding region, so which is this, and inside, of course, nothing will happen because there is nothing inside, because this is a polygon and it is a polygon face, and it has only surface. There is no volume. What is for surface and volume? Weight. Okay, weight I will discuss in coming classes. So you have that now, and in the primitive group you're selected. See, 14, the last one was 7. Now I added 7 in the below, just like that, just for fun. So now you see, yeah, personal, accepting that. And if you increase the subdivision to whatever, you might be thinking now it is less distracted, right? Before it was somewhere here, now it is here itself. But what the crazy part is, you can still adjust the bounding box. You can adjust it. See, crazy, right? So I'm not viewing from here. If you want to view, you can view from that. But I always tend to do, like I'll just drag this node, and that way I know that there's a ghost of that node in the display. So I will do that. Whatever changes I make, I can still have the control, because my bounding region is always stays there, right? Region, so I can control from there. So that way, and the same way you can also do with the bounding sphere, up to your depend upon your thing. Okay, so depend upon your model, right? So you can see here, if I come up here, you can see a bounding sphere, right? You can adjust that, and same thing, you get the selection. So even if you increase it or decrease it, it is going to be there. So that's cool, right? That's cool. When compared to the manual method, it's much better, isn't it? So I'll press L to layout, auto layout. Okay, so next thing I want to show you is, I believe you understood bounding box and bounding sphere. In this bounding box and bounding sphere, nothing more to talk about, because it's just a guide of a bounding region, and you can adjust the way you want. That's pretty much it about bounding sphere and bounding box. So next one I want to show you is bounding object. So here you can see point or vertices only. So that, what is that means? Oh, see, as soon as I click it, it's all gone. That's because it only reads points or vertices. I don't know why. You have to be very careful about each node. What it does. Okay, so it's that way. Houdini is not that friendly. Of course, it is not at all a friendly software. Yeah, but they try to write down everything, or if you hover over, then you can get the a little bit of short information on that particular thing. So, and also you can click over here to get the help, right? In the previous thing I showed you that. So it is looking for points, and we can't do anything. You have to keep this into the point. Then oh, not enough source supplied. Oh, what is that then? So you come up here, you can see bounding object. You see bounding object, it is looking for input to bounding object. So if you have any bounding object, so let's take it test geometry pig head. Okay, and we connect that, and you see right away when you keep it into point, because this need to feed point group, and when you point group it, and voila, you see here. So how to get rid of this? I will always bring a null node which does nothing. Okay, just keeping it. Okay, I'm not even clicking there, just keeping it. So you see here, wherever my object is, it is selecting that point. You see that point. Good, isn't it? So you can move. Of course you can move from here, but I don't like doing that, because I like to use transform, more convenient. And also I know that it is, if I change the position from here, then I have no data of, in a view, I don't know if this test geometry is pushed up or down. But when I see a transform node, then I know, okay, something happened to the geometry, maybe a translation or rotation. So I just keep a record kind of. Okay, so I will move it. As I move it, so now only the nose part and beard part is touching. So let's see what's happened here. Okay, boom. Yeah, right, this part is not there, this part is not there, only the where it touches. So likewise, you can bring any object you want, but make sure you set your group to points, okay, and bring the geometry. It can be anything. So next one I want to show you is bounding volume, right? So bounding volume is I showed you here. This is a primitive, I mean this is primitive or polygon model, right? So polygon model has only surfaces, surface. You see, just have surface. All these are making this primitive. Okay, all this point primitive, vertices, and polygon is making this geo, right? So which means if you come inside, there's nothing. It is just like my brain. There's nothing. Nothing. I believe have some kind of brain. So what is volume then? So it is a different chapter actually. Volume is a different chapter. Volume is something inside. Okay, if there is surface is this one, and volume, if there is something inside filled, then the box volume. So I think in mathematics you must have in the 10th grade or something, you must have known about the volume formula and stuff. So volume difference depending on the filling. It's like if you have a volume, half of it with full of gold, and if you have a box with a volume of complete cotton, then it both have different weight, isn't it? So that's a generic example that I want to give you. So volume is what is inside. So you can see here, this is not a volume. So if you come inside, it is not a volume, it is empty. It is empty. So how can we make this as a volume? So if you right click, you can see VDB. These all, V stand for volume, and maybe the rest is database or something, but I don't know about D and B, but V stands for volume. You can convert everything. It's like this is a beautiful thing that Houdini came up with, volume based modeling. And you can do modeling based on volume. A lot of stuff you can do, but we're not getting into this for now. But I want to just show you how the group works. Okay, in the group, what you can do. This is madness. First of all, I'll bring a spear. Okay, I'll bring a spear and polymesh. Okay, this is the spear. I reduced the rows and column, and then even this is just a surface. Okay, so you need to convert that. So to convert polygon to some, I don't know, some volume, to convert polygon to volume, then you have this convert from polygon, PDB from polygon. You click that and you connect it, because we're not going to go deep into that. Okay, but just a basic idea. So you see here, now if you go inside, it looks empty, but it is actually not empty. It kind of have a volume inside. Okay, so now if I click here, I think the size is too big, So I'll uniformly scale it. Okay, you see, so this is volume selection. So now you'll be thinking, what is the different then? Like, why not a polygon thing? And what makes volume different? So which that is, right now this is a surface volume. Right now this is surface volume, but you can also have a fog volume, right? So you see that's a fog. And now if you click here, nothing happens. Why? That's because there's an ISO surface here, so you need to increase that. And of course, right now it is deselecting the volume, I mean, or the fog we created, or density. Okay, and we can invert it, so that way you have the selection, but that is not necessary for now. So I'll delete all of that. Volume will be another chapter. Okay, but you can try all these three for now. Okay, so I'm done with the keeping the bounding box, so I cancel that and I'll change to primitive again. So next one I want to show you is keep by normal. What is normal? Oh, when I click it, everything selected. What is normal? This is not normal. He is not normal. We are not normal. Okay, so normal means where this particular, so I'm pressing S, so I get the selection, S for selection, S. Okay, so normal means where the polygon is facing. Okay, so what is the normal position? Like normally where are you looking at? So that is what normal means. So this face, you guys know that it is facing this way, isn't it? And you guys know that this is facing this way. Okay, and this of course this way, isn't it? So this is how the computer or the 3D program reads. So it need to have a normal. In 3D software, you need to have a normal for polygon to say that, okay, which side am I viewing, or am I looking at? Okay, because it doesn't know where it is looking at if it doesn't have a normal. Okay, so you can have that visible from here. You see display normal, you see the green thing that is telling you, okay, this is, I'm facing this way, I'm facing this way, right? So this right now, this is showing you, this is, I'm facing this way, I'm facing this way. Okay, so same way you can bring a sphere, and of course sphere doesn't have a normal with primitive type, but if you go poly mesh or anything which has points, then you get anything which has more polygon, then you get this. So it's saying that I'm facing, so you came here, you can see four lines. I hope you see that there's like four. So it is taking the normal from the vertices. So it says that, okay, my vertex is facing this side, my vertex is facing this side, my vertex is facing this side. So that is normal. Okay, so normal, if someone asks you what normal, it is in the texture department. Normal, there is a different normal in the texture department, and in real life normal is different. And in Houdini modeling, geometry based, it has a different normal, right? So what's the use of this? Okay, so now you must be wondering, what is the use of this? All right, then I think sphere is the best thing to show you. What is that? As a default, I told you, as a default, it this displays the vertices normal. All right, so that's why there, and you can also get the primitive if I come up here, so you want to see the primitive, then there is a node itself called normal to make the things normal, to have a normal. So it, as a default, it has a normal on the vertices attribute. That's okay for now. Just giving a glimpse that there is a normal node exist. Okay, so we avoid that, and in here you can see keep by normal, isn't it? And I will click the show handle so that I have a selection guide, right? So right now it is direction. Avoid this. I'll explain backface from dash in a minute, but before that I want to show you. I'll first directly go to the direction. So direction, it's in the z-axis, 0 0 in the xy. So now if I slightly move with the show handle, oh, it doesn't relate. Okay, so that's a bug sometimes. So I will delete this edit node. Yeah, it's a bug. Sometimes it happens, you know, when you're switching from selecting tool to show handle, it happens. So this is what normal base is taking. Okay, and it is in the z-axis. So if you move it, see, so you can see here, this is left is z-axis, so it is selecting from spreading angle. Like you can select, okay, I want only 90 degree, like whatever the spread angle is 90 degree, I want them to be selected. And that way you can you come up here. Of course this is in a primitive, so if I click it, it will be good to go. Oh shit, good to go. So see, you have that selected, and now even if I increase the subdivision or whatever, nothing's gonna happen unless you go it very low. Even that is giving a good selection, right? So selection has no problem, everything, like it's perfect. So as you increase also, selection is good because it is taking from the normal, and normal always have same, right? So it's a good thing, right? Like normal is bounding box, bounding region, isn't it? So it has a limit, but the polygon will face only one direction all the time, right? So that's a good selection for in most of the cases. Example, like if I take only the what is facing upward, right? So I got here, I click 1 and I put the z 0, then see, I'm getting that. And also I can control it. And even I increase the row or decrease it, I still get that selection, not destroying anything. So that is awesome, isn't it? The normal. So likewise you can spread any angle and select. So it's like any angle, and you can mix it, x and y. So right now I'm mixing with x and y, or everything, then xyz. So you can manually tweak it and get whatever you want, right? So I put everything back to default, revert to default. And what is backface from? So backface from is if you have anything that is facing, for example, if you have a camera. So if I click here, camera, right? So camera is facing this side. Okay, so you see here, camera is facing from this side. So whatever camera is looking won't be selected. That's what happening. So backface, whatever is facing won't select, but backface will select. Boom, see? And as I move, so this has a limitations, like you have to go back and forth to move your camera, isn't it? So you come up here, you see here, and then you see you have different backface, isn't it? So that's I don't know you will ever use this method, because that sucks, right? Like you have to go back and forth, which destroy the Houdini's procedural workflow, isn't it? So I avoid it. I personally don't use that backface from camera.